Good evening, everybody. So just a small introduction. I am a psychologist. Well, I'm supposed to be a psychologist, but I have a problem with the word psychology. If psychology is the science of the mind, the question is, what is the mind and where is the mind? That means that we psychologists, we practice the science of something we don't know where it is and what it is. So, in my opinion, and I might be wrong, this is another of my favorite sentences, in my opinion, might be wrong. One more word. I'll be grateful if I can see your faces on the screen. Okay? Don't be, please show your beauty to everybody. Thank you. In my opinion, I might be wrong. All our so-called problems are illogical and irrational. There's nothing logical about our problems. Deep inside, we know that what we call our problems is just our illogical perception of reality. So I'll give you an example of something that is super illogical. It's called love. From time to time, I'm falling in love. And then, of course, sometimes it does not work. So my heart is broken, I'm being rejected, abandoned, pushed away. And I promise to myself that never again I'm going to fall in love again. 5 minutes later, I'm in deep shit again because I'm falling in love again. And I keep repeating it again and again, knowing that it's illogical. So if our problems are illogical, they are created by our imagination. And our imagination also comes from our perception of reality. And where this perception comes from? Usually it comes from our childhood. Usually, if we think about our mind of a young child that absorbs everything that is around them, absorb influences, we immediately find out that we unconsciously became like our parents. So what traditional psychology and traditional medicine are doing? In my opinion, all our so-called problems, physical and emotional, are just a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. What psychology and medicine are doing, they're just removing the abnormal, the normal reaction and leaving the abnormal situation there. So there is a symptom and there is a cause. Everything comes from somewhere and nothing comes from nowhere. So deep inside you are normal. Deep inside you don't have any problems. I'm sorry to disappoint some people. You cannot imagine the reaction of some of my clients when I say to them, you don't have a problem, you just have a normal reaction to an abnormal situation. So let me explain it in a smart, simplistic way, because psychology is something we all do, put in a language that nobody understands. And I like to simplify things and not to complicate them. So how does it work? If I cut the weeds in the garden, they will grow back after the next rain. The more often I cut them, the stronger they grow. A lot of psychological methods and medical methods are about removing symptoms. And every gardener that does not have an academic degree knows that to remove the weeds in the garden, we need to dig a hole and dig out the roots. And the roots are coming from childhood. This is the seeds that our parents have put in our mind. And unconsciously, we become our parents. So I grow up and I decide, because I'm aware, I read all those psychology books, I went on different seminars, and I become aware that some of my reaction are like my parents, and I want to have a better life. I want to treat my children better than my parents have treated me. I want to improve. But from time to time, I say, oh, I sound like my mother. I sound like my father. So in a way, this is some kind of a computer program that is acting in the back of our unconscious mind and continue disturbing our life. So even when we enter a relationship, just let's think for a moment about our present relationship or past relationships. Maybe we had few past relationships. In what way we have chosen unconsciously somebody that resembled to our mother or resembled to our father. So this psychological cliche that is saying we marry our father and our mother unconsciously, or the opposite of our mother and father, and the opposite of sometimes is exactly the same. So what is the aim of the work we're doing? The aim of the work we're doing is to find freedom. Freedom from our parental influences and actually become ourselves, to make our own choices, regardless how our parents think about it or react about it. So, because I'm not perfect, okay, I'm sorry to disappoint some people because Professor Yuri is very well educated and very intelligent and very smart. He's supposed to have all the answers and he's not supposed to make any mistakes. Sorry, I'm not different than anybody else. So I was married 3 times. First time I married somebody that is opposite than my mother. Second time, I married somebody that is opposite than my father. Third time, I married somebody that is like my mother. And I keep repeating this again and again and again. In all of my relationships, I carry my parents' influences unconsciously as monkeys on my back. And they're constantly talking to me. And sometimes I say to myself, what my mother will say about it, what my father will say about it. Are we free from those influences? Are we actually making our choices from a place of freedom, or we make our choices from a place that from a place that we are actually still have this unconscious influence. So we also learn, and not only from our parents, we also learn from society and with so-called educational system. And we're talking about the educational system. I don't see how much education is in the educational system. It's usually mostly training monkeys to pass exam and to memorize useless material that doesn't have any relevance to real life. Um, so if our so-called problems are illogical and irrational, and if they are created by imagination, one of the methods to start imagining something is by closing your eyes. And this is why sometimes I might use skills that is called hypnosis. And when I talk about hypnosis, I'm not talking about what you see in American movies when people are made to do stupid things and do things that they don't want to do. Uh, I don't work like that. It's about mostly imagining ourselves in different situations. Okay, so uh, um, you see, this is why I like so much to work in groups, because I listen to people experiences, and life experience is the best teacher. When I sometimes read those psychology books or those self-awareness books, okay, I'm suspecting that the people that have written it, okay, have written it not from their experience, but some kind of philosophy they got from somewhere. So, as a imperfect human being that I am, sometimes I go to therapy. Uh, Now, why do I go to therapy? Okay, people don't go to therapy because they have problems. People go to therapy to improve their life. I give you a simple example. When you have a car, you take the car for a service from time to time. Not because there's something wrong with the car, but you don't want the car to break underneath you. You brush your teeth every day, you wash yourself, you take care of your body, you can take care of your health, but sometimes we forget to take care of our soul. And when you drive a car, in the car, you've got a side mirror. And in this side mirror, there's a blind spot. Sometimes I need to talk to somebody that will show me something that I cannot see from where I am at. I want to learn more about myself. So when I do a seminar, and even now, okay, I'll put it as straight as I can. My dear friends, I'm using you to learn something about myself. I'm using you. Okay, so let's start using each other. Because when an apple becomes ripe on the tree, next stage it becomes rotten. We have to keep growing all the time. So yes, I've got academic degree in psychology. I took my diploma, I put it in a frame and put it on the wall, and I'm qualified and I can fix everybody. But reality is changing and I'm still using ancient methods that are not applicable in our modern life. Because I know better than anybody else. So I'm continuing learning all the time. I need to learn more. And I found that my best learning is from other people's experiences. So I go to therapy, I say something to the therapist, and the therapist does, I understand. Yeah, I know this sentence. It's called empathy in therapy. I know what you're talking about. And when the therapist saying, I know what you're talking about, it sounds like, yes, I learned a book about it, or I heard a seminar in university about it. I want to talk to somebody that had the same experience I have. Don't want somebody to understand me. I want somebody to feel me. Because there's nothing to understand. Everything is illogical and irrational. And this is our problem, our logical, academic, intelligent society. We're trying to understand logically the illogical. And it does not work. And we cannot understand logically the illogical. We start labeling it. Bipolar disorder, narcissistic disorder, depression, chronic anxiety. Everything has a name. We invent new diagnoses all the time. The best one is attention deficit disorder. When was that? 10 or 20 years ago. Nobody heard of it. Somebody needs to make money, you understand? We need to invent new problems and new labels. Of course, I've got attention deficit disorder when I go to school and there is a boring teacher that talks to me about things that has nothing to do with real life. I get bored. So if I got good character, I start to disturb. So there is no such thing as depression. There is only deep sadness. There's no such thing as anxiety. There's only fear. Let's simplify it. In 1950, there were 7 psychiatric disorders. Today, there are more than 4,000, and they keep inventing new ones all the time. You go to a therapist with one problem, and you leave the therapy with 20 different labels. And then what? So, and then we've got different thing in fashion, okay? One of the thing in fashion now, it's called family constellation, okay? It's a brilliant thing. I like it. I've got one problem with it. I said, choose somebody to represent your father, choose somebody to represent your mother. I'm sorry, there is too much logic. In a way, it's in a way starting to be logical, okay? So for instance, if we do symbolic constellation or metaphoric constellation, okay? I want you to imagine that I'm asking you to choose 2 animals, doesn't matter which animals, okay? And you put the animals somewhere in the room in relation to you. And I want to imagine you've chosen one animal as a tiger and one animal as a turtle. What would you like to say to the tiger? What would you like to say to the turtle? Now you are the turtle. What would you like to say to Raluca? Now you are the tiger. What do you like? We do a dialogue between those 2 animals. Okay. The next stage is, in what way you've got an inner tiger and an inner turtle? Because I've not told you which animal to choose. You've chosen. And the next stage is, if the tiger and the turtle represent 2 significant people in your life, past or present, who would be? One is my father, one is my mother, one is my boyfriend. And then get deeper understanding metaphorically and symbolically. We just bypass the logical mind. We don't work with the obvious. This is what's called in-depth psychology. This is what is called, instead of removing symptoms, or in a better place, to be aware that your father or mother did not love you enough, okay? Or you are pleasing your boyfriend, okay, bravo. So now you are aware. What next? Sometimes when we go a little bit deeper and we are aware what they've done to us, we use it as an excuse. I'm fucked up because my mother did not love me. Okay, bravo. So I've got the right to be as I am. Okay, somebody wants to say something. Ashwani? Yes, you can speak. Friends, as I always say, a seminar is worth a lot of therapy sessions. Because when we discuss with each other and we learn from each other and we share with each other and we realize that we are all the same, our perception and perspective of life is changing. So from my heart, I'm inviting you to come and attend the seminars. One of the things about the seminars, okay, I was told by some people that my prices are too low. This is why people don't respect it. I'm sorry, I'm here to serve humanity. I'm here, okay, for somebody like Mario's son and for the next generation, because we need, the world does not look a good place and we need to do something about it. So please do yourself a favor. I'm keeping the prices of those seminars really reasonable. You'll be saving a lot of money on the long term. I'm really inviting you to take part and participate. And if you want to reserve a place, just write it on chat, okay? There is 170 Mishwara, one seminar in Bucharest. The 70 Mishwara is about losses, and it's mainly which part of ourselves we've lost. The seminar in Bucharest is cutting the emotional umbilical cord that connects us to our parents. Basically, both of them is to find freedom. Raluca, you want to say something?
Yes, I'm putting right now the link of every seminar in the chat so people can see it and visit our Facebook page, From Personal to Transpersonal. I wanted to add that these seminars are 3 days, 8 hours per day, so a lot of hours of work and fun, because Yuri also wants to have fun when he works.
Don't like the word work.
Yes, yes. And you find all the details in the events, and you can also contact me. I'm the organizer, and we can talk if you have further questions.
Yeah. I'm on Facebook. You want to say something, ask something, whatever you need, okay? I'm a nice person. You can talk to me, okay? I don't bite. You can talk to me, okay? I'm here for every single one of you.
I would also like to share a testimonial from one of our participants at the summer camp, if everyone wants to see. It's a short 1 minute testimonial. Just let me find it. And I will share my screen. And just let me know if you can hear it. Do you hear the sound?
It's not, wait, you need to press play.
Yes, okay.
No, we cannot hear the sound.
No?
No.
No?
Okay, yeah. So if I'm falling in...
Wait, sorry.
Pentru mine e prima experiență când vin în tabăra asta de pagă. Au mai fost la alte evenimentele ale lui și m-a plăcut foarte mult. Au fost 5 sau 6 zile ce aș fi pierdut timpul, mi-aș fi dorit să mai pierd vreo 2. Și cu ce plec de aici, pentru mine foarte relevant a fost faptul că cum să fac să pun limite, să-mi accept părțile mai bune și mai puțin bune. Și deja îmi vine când vorbesc despre asta. mă felicit că am luat această decizie, că mi-am făcut acest cabin. Mulțumesc, Iure, și mulțumesc, Raluca și Alfred.
Okay.
Other testimonials on our webpage. You can see what are people's experience and feelings. Most of them say it's worth the work and the fun, but it's also deep improvement in their life.
Let's stop repressing the symptoms and dig out the real roots, the real causes. Put them on the table and do something with it. And believe me, it is so simple. Life can be fun and simple. There is no need to complicate everything. Thank you very much. God bless you. I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Love you.
And I would like to add a little thing. We have translation for the seminars, so there's no problem with the language barrier. Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.